YouTube, Brian Phillips here. We put the new prop on from FMS. They sent it to us at no charge, which is cool. This thing is a beast. Only problem with the new prop, it looked deceivingly like the old prop. Okay, so throttle cuts off. Supposedly it's supposed to make a big difference and it's supposed to be pretty minor. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna taxi out. Can you go to your spot? You're kind of wandering on me. I don't know where you're gonna be. Megan?
Yeah.
Okay, do a little grass taxi here. Okay, here we go. Take off flaps on. Gear going up. Here we go, gear going up. About 50% throttle there. That's something I couldn't do before. There's full throttle. Guys, I'd say it's still not super fast. Okay, here we go. Hey, I can roll it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that before. I don't feel like it's overly slow. Looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It got around okay. I didn't feel like I was losing airspeed at the end of the roll. Can we go to the center with you there, camera crew?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. A little bit of rudder to keep it going around. Take off flaps coming down. I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but I said don't be afraid to fly this thing with the flaps. I need you to be where you were at the front of the edge of the runway, not out in the runway. You're in the runway. There you go. Beautiful. Feels a little teeny bit on the pitch sensitive side here. There you go. Full throttle pass, try to level it out. That feels better, but it's just not like amazingly fast still. Again, we're on 6S 5000 100C pack here. A smart pack, of course. Flying with the NX6 on the AR637T. We've got telemetry in there, so we do have a voltage warning set up at 20, was it 21 volts?
Yes.
Which would be 3.5 volts per cell. Okay, here we go. We'll try to get the speed up and then do this again. Over through the sun. Sorry, camera crew and everybody else watching. It just feels more powerful, but I can't say it's enough speed to really make it what I wanted. It sure looks awesome up there still, but it looked awesome the first flight. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go with the wind. That looks good, guys. Now, I do have my ordnance on there, and when I say ordnance, I mean drop tanks only, because I think they look cool. Around the house here. We're gonna go down to the end. We have an 8-minute timer on this thing, by the way. Cutting sharp, full throttle. Coming in for a dive bombing pass. There is a mouse running across the runway. Oh man, that irritates me. I can't kill it. Hey, I'm gonna try to kill it.
No.
Yes, yes. Show the people at home. He's right here. He's right here.
Did you get him?
Get out of here. Get out of here. I honestly don't know if I got him, hon. There he is. He's in the middle of the yard just chilling.
Just don't
Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna crash this plane for a stupid mouse.
Don't do that.
Oh, I got him! I got him! Oh man, that is so awesome. Anybody who is about ready to start typing about how they love mice?
Just
Don't care. First time you pay for a repair from mice, then you can let me know all about it. Come back to the middle of the driveway, please, but up toward the front. Thank you. A little bit more, 5 more steps. There you go. Good job. Awesome, guys. Loving the way this plane is flying. It flies so good that I can kill a mouse while flying it. That is not AMA approved. I did get it, by the way, camera crew. I don't know if you could tell from my cheering and obnoxiousness.
Well, I mean, the obnoxiousness all runs together sometimes.
It does. That thing looks really good today. Mm-hmm. Sorry I keep making you move. I'm being nervous today. Take off flaps. We just kind of have like, light breezy winds, but it's kind of confused. Like we don't know what direction it's coming from and it keeps changing.
Yeah, it does.
I'm into the throttle. I have the gear down, hypothetically. I need you to go back to the side where you came from. That's not what I meant at all. I'm sorry. Nope. Just hold still. Guys, that is faster. It has to be.
Yeah.
It feels and looks better. It's definitely less scary to fly, but I'm definitely riding the 100% throttle mark here. %50 throttle here. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps are not out. Landing flaps are out. 50% throttle over the vampire killing zone. Horrible touch and go, guys. Look at those beautiful gear. Oh, it's so cool. One thing I can definitely wholeheartedly say about this plane is you do kind of have to fly it. Stop moving forward, please. You make me nervous. This is a big plane, hon. 1 minute on the 8. Over the vampire killing zone. Now, one thing I want to say, this plane handles the wind okay, but I want it to look really good doing it. And that's part of my problem here, is that that wind is just enough to take the edge off of that good looking scale appearance. Staying in the throttle, full landing flaps here. That's a dirty pass. Out of the gear, out of the flaps. We're close enough, I'm gonna try to put her down.
Okay.
Take off flaps here, getting in line, out of the throttle mostly. Gear coming out, putting it over the top of the trees, vampire killing zone, full gear coming down. We're gonna try to touch down perfect. Oh, so close, so close. Out of the flaps to protect them, and full up elevator so we don't tip. Going into the more manicured grass here, so you got a couple nasty bumps there to get over. And there we are. Okay, gotta watch for the snow here. Guys, this plane does it all. Here's the thing I don't understand. Okay, throttle cuts on. We are gonna put the prop replacing at the end of this video. So if you're curious, I want you to watch, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't tell there was a difference. In fact, I called and I said, hey, what the heck? Or I didn't call, I texted. And I said, what the heck is going on here? Like, it seems like we got the same exact prop. So if we got the same exact prop, we're not sure if we should fly it. Plus, of course, we had berms of snow up and down our runway. That wouldn't have worked so good with this plane. So camera crew suggested that we not fly that day. That was a good suggestion, camera crew. You're gonna also notice, well, you won't notice, but I can notice the wind is coming like this and confused to that. So it's like this and like that. So no matter which direction I was going, I was kind of getting screwed by the wind a little bit. It's not heavy, but it's enough that when you get a big lofty, and the wing on this thing is huge, and you get all that drag from those huge flaps that come down. Once you get a wing picked up, it's just really hard to recover from that. So I felt like I got pretty fortunate there and then just veered off so that I didn't roll. Obviously, if we roll here, we go to a certain point and then it drops and goes downhill, so we can make it to the grade of the road. So we're flat from here to there, but that's only probably, you know, like 110 feet of the 180-foot runway. So if we have, in the future, if we build a building like we're thinking of doing, we're gonna have more straightaway, which is gonna give us a little bit more room for the flat. In terms of slowing down, it slows down okay. It's still a pretty big plane, so you still need a little bit of room for rollout. Obviously, we're probably on the tight side here with a 1700 millimeter. And by the way, if you guys are thinking 1700 millimeters, that's not that much bigger than 1200. Well, yeah, on a ruler. The problem is what you have to do is you have to scale every aspect of that plane up by 50 more percent, because you're adding not quite 50%, but you're adding another 50% almost, like 43% or whatever it is, to the overall size of a 1.2 meter. So it's half again as big. It's a lot bigger.
A lot bigger.
There is so much more plane in this than the 1.2. And that's why I keep saying FMS, first of all, thank you for the prop. I think it made an improvement. And in fact, it was a market improvement. And yes, I could not see the difference. So when we do the build, which is kind of stupid that we're doing a build on replacing this prop, but that prop is a thing. It takes some time. You guys will see me questioning it. I just want to put that all into perspective so you know what the heck we're talking about. The prop is way better. I can't even believe it's better. By the way, same part number. So if you get a replacement and it's like the same part number as what you already had, the old one is wrong and the new one is right, but they're the same part number.
And it will look the same.
And it's going to look the same. So good luck figuring that out.
Mark them.
Mark them. I did that in the video
binder.
and I thought this is the biggest waste of time. I'm going to mark it anyway. And I put a little red mark with a red marker on a black blade, so it's really hard to see and it's on the inside. So I just know there's going to be like, oh, you cheated. No, believe me, I didn't. Believe me, we thought we were getting cheated. So that was a lot better. That was a lot better. Not a little better, it was a lot better. I had enough to complete a full loop. Do you remember before? I didn't even want to roll it over on its back. I was scared it was going to crash.
Yeah.
So now you could have rolled it over on its back and used the elevator to keep it going, because you do have plenty of elevator on this thing. But I don't know if you guys remember, I put a ton of expo on this thing. If you don't remember, let's go to dual rates and expo. Let's go to the elevator.
I don't know if they're going to be able to see.
45% expo with a 70% rate on my neutral setting. So yeah, that's a lot, okay? You may not have been able to see the screen, but it was 45% expo, 70% rates. I don't ever fly low rates on any planes. So on this one, you could definitely set that hole. You could go up to one hole less, and then you would be able to run at 100% rates. You get more precision, a little bit more torque applied to that elevator. So you might actually have better performance. That being said, really like the plane. It's a little bit scary for me to fly just because it's big and it's winter. And winter for us means more moisture and more environmental impact because we have almost no protection from the wind compared to what we would normally have. With deciduous trees, of course, we lose the leaves and then you get this wind that carries through and you just don't have much. You can't see it. That being said, Grumpy John's windsock, we can see that, but it's way over there and we're way over here and we've got this topography, so the wind kind of carries around it and it does weird things and then it goes up over the house. And I really like the plane. It's beautiful. Really cool plane. They've done a great job on this plane. The prop makes a big difference. So if you're getting it with a new prop, I think you're going to be satisfied.
Yep.
And also, I know that there's one of my competitors or peers or however you want to look at them had run this on 8S and he was having good success. I believe he also did increase his ESC to 120 amps. So don't want to name any names here. Don't want to take credit for what he's done. But he's done the work. And so basically, I think he was having better success with that. It was definitely more zippy. But at the same time, I'm not replacing the ESC in this. I think it's plenty good. And I think it's good on 6S. I'm not going up to 8S. I think the 6S is plenty now. I feel like that pitch improvement made a big improvement. I'm not concerned about blowing out the motor or anything because to be perfectly honest with you, you won't even be able to see the difference. Stick around if you want to watch the build. It's mostly me being frustrated thinking that I got the same prop and I'm wasting my time. But the thing is, you can at least see it for yourself. Definitely better. When you guys order this, if they don't send it with the new prop, you may just, ask Horizon when you get it. That being said, they supposedly threw away the old ones and just kept the new ones. That's what I was told because I did follow up with them about that. Any other thoughts on this plane?
It's a really cool plane.
Oh, and then let's show them where we got the battery, because I am not 100% certain if we ran them this way before on our second thoughts video, but I think I have that all the way forward.
That's what you were saying, at least.
And I never actually heard my warning, my voltage warning.
We did
so,
not.
okay, so that would have been all the way forward, and then this would have been back. And honestly, I feel like this plane could have done it in either position. It would have been fine. And that might have bounced back from some of the taxing or the touch and go.
Yeah.
If you won't even call it that. The other thing too, if you guys haven't watched the build, radio setup, unbox, all that stuff, you do need to either have an adapter or you need to replace the XT60 to get up to your IC5 should you choose to run a smart pack. So just make sure, I mean, you already have this if you're running smart chargers, so it shouldn't be a big deal. It's the exact same cable that we use. This is an IC5 end that goes down to an IC3 end. Now you could also do an IC5 to XT60 female if you decided to do that. So this is the one that comes stock in the FMS. I did notice on the Horizon website, it does say it comes with an IC5. So, I can't remember if it said an EC5 or an IC5, but it says one of the two, except mine came with this XT60. I really don't care. It's not a big deal to me. These things are supposed to be able to carry 90 amps of current. So if you go to 120 amp, you're probably pushing it. So you might want to be a little bit careful. You may want to invest, especially if you put an avian receiver in there. If you're going to get the avian that's got the correct connector, that's going to be awesome. Plus then you're going to get the smart telemetry data, which is super nice. You're going to get the per cell voltages, which is really awesome. But again, I'm not telling you to do that. I don't think you need to. I think the prop upgrade is plenty. You're going to be plenty satisfied now. I was very underwhelmed by the initial performance. Even though the plane flew good. It flew perfectly fine. It just was not powerful enough to go. It wasn't fast enough. It was powerful enough. So small pitch change, big output. All right, guys, stick around. You can watch the build. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll try to answer them the best we can. If I don't answer the question, if I don't know the answer to the question, I'll try to get it for you. Beyond that, beautiful plane, definitely striking. I mean, it's got major presence in the air. And I mean, we were flying this thing just to give you guys an idea of the timeline. I know sometimes we show videos and you're not sure exactly how it happened chronologically because the snow is here and then it's gone and then it's here and then it's gone and then it's dark, then it's light. Well, we don't mean to like trick anybody. It's just that's the way it works with the video production for us. But this was up against the Fox. That was kind of the same time frame when we were getting a 3-meter Fox. And they both have amazing presence in the air. So, but also one other thing to keep in mind, if you're a new pilot, don't even think about getting this.
Nope.
You need to give yourself some time. Get the 1.2 meter, you'll love it, and it will be still a challenge for you. And yet it's a great flying plane and it's beautiful and the retracts are gorgeous. They roll out and they do the 90-degree twist. So cool. Or excuse me, the 45-degree twist. Beautiful details. The 1.2 meter, I think we've linked to it in all of these videos. Just because if you're new to the flying, keep in mind that one only has AS3X. It does not have Safe Select. If you get this plane and you put in the AR637T, you can do Safe if you want. We just did AS3X. The Safe is probably not necessary on a plane of this caliber because if you're flying and needing Safe, that would be a little bit strange. Now, a 3D plane or something where you need to recover, that kind of makes sense for a more experienced pilot. But on something like this, you're not really going to be flying this as a new pilot. First of all, it's dangerous because this is a big prop. Secondly, you're using 6S packs, which are expensive. So just a couple of reasons. I don't want to discourage you. I want to encourage you to make the right moves when you're new.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to get this, you're going to crash it, and you're going to be pissed, and you would have dropped $1,000.
Yeah.
So get a plane like this, and it's not $1,000 for this unless you went into the store and bought everything all at once, which would be crazy. That's why you don't buy this first. You go and you buy that 1.2 meter, you get yourself a battery, you get yourself a transmitter, and you may be $600-700 in it, and you're gonna love it, and you'll fly the wheels off of it. But to be honest with you, that plane probably isn't even your first plane anyway.
Right.
That's a new pilot plane, so like your third, fourth plane, something like that. For me, it would have been like my 5th or 6th plane. So, all right, guys, enough about my experience. Enjoy it. This is definitely a cool plane. If you got a little bit of experience behind your belt, you like the looks of it. I mean, shoot, this one's pretty enough. You could get it and put it on your wall because it's just gorgeous. And the retracts and the lights, everything is very scale. Again, probably not good at twilight when it's dark, The dark livery on this, it'll disappear. If you have a beautiful sunset in the summer, it'll be fine, but it's gonna silhouette like crazy. So just remember that. And you could get a kind of a feel for that with the sun in this mid-sky, winter sky. You get that silhouetting still, and it will disappear from you. So, I mean, you'll lose your orientation if you're not, watching for it.
Yep.
But the LEDs are beautiful. They are easy to see when you're lining up for a final, which really, really helps because you can really tell when you're level because you've got your green, your red, and you've got your 2 forward-facing white lights. Very good on that one, FMS. I like this plane a lot. I like it even better now that it's got an appropriate prop on it. So I would have liked it better if it had it at the beginning, but it's definitely, I mean, what other manufacturer is going to send out? I mean, that had been expensive.
Yeah, that's not.
For everybody that bought one.
Prop. Yeah.
I mean, just the shipping alone, think about it.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why we sing the praises of Horizon, guys. I know some people think it's fanboy status. It's not. They're just a generally good company to work with. There's not many other ones out there that are this good to back you up when you have a problem. And believe me, it's RC. You're going to have a problem at some point. Even if you're a world-class pilot, you're going to have a problem. And by the way, I don't put myself in that category. I'm just saying, if you are, you're still going to have problems. Because this stuff, they're very complicated. And they are really fun. And you'll learn a lot doing it, too. If you're just on the edge, waiting to kind of pull the trigger and get into this, what are you waiting for? Get into it. But don't buy this one to get into it because you'll probably disappoint yourself and your wife will probably not be okay with it because this takes up like the king size bed for storage.
Build her up to it. Work her up.
You gotta slowly work her up to it.
Yep. Takes a little while.
Get her ready to receive it, the big package. So anyway, all right, guys, come back for more. You know where to find it here on Brian Phillips RC. Don't forget to check the link in the description below. If you are going to buy some of this stuff, we are going to link to the plane, receiver, an alternate receiver without AS3X, and then we'll link, of course, to the NX6, which has been great. It's been mostly flawless. We've had 2 or 3 really small glitches that have not been devastating in a model at all, just kind of a pain when you're setting them up. And that was only like on the first model, and then we figured out a problem, so we just worked around it. Beyond that, I picked a model, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to report to you when I see technical issues, mostly because I want you to know what I'm experiencing. The other day when I picked a model, it went to a white screen. Okay, again, not devastating. I was picking a model. I shut it off and turned it on. It was fine. I haven't ever seen that since. I have only seen it one time. So I'm not sure what that was, if it was just a fluke. I went from one of my planes to another one of my planes, and then it went to a white screen, and I just powered it down and powered it back up, and it was on, and everything worked perfect. So I'm not sure what to make of it, but between that and then the flap menu, those are the 2 issues. And then the vibrator is not quite as strong as the DX18. So if you use vibration for your indications of activities like warnings, then it's a little bit weaker. Beyond that, this is the bottom of the line card. The DX18 was almost the top of the line card. There was a DX20, but of course I didn't have that. So anything else?
Nope.
Really good buy.
Yep.
However, if you're looking at the NX6, you may want to pre-order the NX8 or the NX10 so you can get your reverse motor functions. Predominantly for more expensive planes, it's got the avian receivers, like for instance the Night Temper X. For instance, the is it the Ultimate 3D?
Yeah.
The Ultimate 3D also had the avian receiver, which is going to give you reversing. And reversing, you have to assign to one of the high channels. Also, if you're going to be doing more sophisticated setup for AS3X, you may want to get the extra channels, probably the 10 if you're really going to get into it, because then you can control different gains on different sliders and different knobs. Okay, you'll notice there's no turn knob on the NX6. This is a 7-channel transmitter. And yes, flaps, retracts, AS3X on, off. I have a channel dedicated here, so if we had safe, we would be able to do that too, safe select. We've been very happy with this. It's done almost everything we need. And when I say almost everything, we just haven't had a plane yet that needed those things on this radio. The ones that we have on the DX18, of course, like the Ultimate and the Night Timber X, we did, of course, have those higher channels. So, all right, cool. Without further ado, stick around if you want to watch me put together the prop, but you already kind of heard the most important stuff. Definitely check the links in the description. Come back for more. Thanks, guys. Hi, YouTube. We're here with the new prop on the F4U 1700mm Corsair by FMS. The plane flew really good. It just was slow. And so as a result, FMS and Horizon worked together. They sent this stuff out, which is really cool. No charge, of course. This is an 1811 prop. So that's what you get, okay? So you have to redo this. So we're gonna show this at the end. You've already seen the flight. So my guess is it's great and everybody loved it and it was wonderful. But the thing is, I still need to show you guys the process because I feel obligated to share these things as it pertains to replacing parts and things like this. Okay. So I got this thing from our drawer so that I could hold on to the spinner because I couldn't quite get it to spin. And this is just like an anti-slip pad from in the drawer. And then remember there's a nut in there. And then you've got to break this free with a crescent or whatever you've got around. You do have to take it totally off to do this, I believe, because you have to get to the inside holes. There's an inside hole and an outside hole. It's not really that big a deal to take this apart. You guys, if you're flying this plane, you certainly have a handle on how to do this. We just show this because sometimes people want to have a heads up on what to expect. My guess is what's going to happen is they're just going to switch the propeller design and then you won't have to mess with it. Really super high quality stuff though. I mean, it's just really well built. Okay, so in order to do the rest of this process, it's going to be a pretty easy thing. The stickers, we got the stickers on there already on the old one. My concern, guys, to be honest with you, is this looks a lot like what I already have on it. So I'm a little bit concerned I may already have the same prop. Because if you look at the pitch on this, I just don't see, it does not look very different. I don't know if maybe this is like a 9 and this is an 11, but one way or another, it doesn't look very different. So we'll find out. Just like we did in the unboxing, I don't know if you guys watch the unboxing, build, and radio setup. Most people probably just kind of watch the flights, and then people that need help getting things set up will watch the whole thing. But I laid them in a row like this, and these stickers were really easy to apply. I thought it was going to be a pain. It actually wasn't bad at all. I do not know if this is the exact correct scale way to do it. They didn't really indicate anything in the instructions. So I just kind of did my best. I wanted them mid-span on the propeller, and I want them all in the same orientation, of course, and I want them to be in row. Because when they're spinning, you'll be able to see if they're not in a line. It'll look weird, because it'll jump left and right. Oops. These are nice stickers, though. They have to be nice stickers to be on a propeller and not fly off. Got to be ultra sticky. Okay. I love these little scale details. It's just super awesome. Okay, so that being said, this is the part number that was on, it's an FMM PROP 062. It's an 18 by 11. So I don't know exactly what the deal is on if this is an 18 by 11. I would be a little bit annoyed if it was an 18 by 11. Because that means something probably got screwed up somewhere. But I guess I'll report that here in a minute. Because once I get them out side by side, then I can give you a quick update on that. So this comes out, and then underneath there's actually another bolt here that holds the prop blade in. And if I remember right, there's a lot of screwing that goes into this. I almost wonder if we should get the drill and just like try to drill these out, because it'll take forever otherwise, because there's like 8 of them.
Or we could just pause while you're unscrewing, since.
Well, yeah, why don't we pause it and then we'll just show you when we get this piece off.
Okay.
So we got the top off, it's just laid aside, and we're just gonna take off the first one. Luckily, these screws are a lot shorter, so there's just less spinning. I got a drill, or actually my camera crew got a drill. I was working, and it doesn't open, the chuck doesn't open enough to grab this, because I was gonna try to do that. Okay, so this is, I'm just gonna make a mark on it because I don't know for sure which one's which, okay? So just with a red marker so I know which one's which. You can put a pitch detector on these things, which just measures the pitch, but there's probably a difference there. That makes me feel a lot better. This one here is a lot less, it's a lot more shallow.
Yeah.
This one here is a lot more aggressive. Okay.
I think you're right.
So it must have been like 18.9 then. Wow. But it looked pretty dang close, and I'm like, this is a lot of work to find out it's wrong, because I was going to be annoyed if I had to redo it for no reason. Because this plane it's a really nice plane. It's pretty expensive too. And by the time you get a plane, I mean, granted, I think it's a good value for how big it is. And with that AR637T in there, it's just an amazing plane. It's really good. It flies amazingly. And my only concern is we've got snow out in the grass right now. And I'm a little bit concerned that we might need to land in the grass.
Because the grass landings were good.
They were almost better than they were in fact better than the pavement landings. Mm-hmm. So same thing here. I'm just going to mark them. The thing that's nice about this is you got a spare prop out of the deal too. So if you got one of the earlier orders, this was a version 3, right? This is a V3.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So same thing, marked it, putting it aside, and then we will come back when we get all 4 on. Okay, so we've got this new prop on here, and it's really hard to sit here when you're sitting here looking at them to say with certitude. I mean, I marked the ones that I took off. They look really similar. When you sit here and really get down to brass tacks, they look like the same prop. It's gonna be rather annoying if I get this out there and it's the exact same prop. I can't see the difference. And I mean, I thought maybe I was seeing the difference, but I think it was what we call wishful thinking. So I don't know what the deal is. I thought it was 1811 too, based on what the technical drawing said. And if they're sending out a replacement prop, my understanding was it was supposed to be more aggressive, like 13 or 12 or something like that. It was like an incremental change. But I guess seeing is believing, so we're gonna see if it's any better. We're gonna go from there. So you guys don't probably wanna watch me do this, so we'll pause it until that's done and show you the reassembly. Okay, so we have this all reassembled, which is like whatever that muscle is, workout. Because as I tighten it, this thing has to collapse down. And I thought I had it collapsed all the way, but I mean, I'm telling you, it is everything I can do to torque that thing down. And I mean, it's really tight. And plus the other thing you can do to look to see if you've got it all the way is you can look and see if the screws came through flush or close to flush. Because you can tighten these and they feel like they're tight and there's a big gap here. So just watch that. You do not want to have problems with that. I am a little bit weirded out though because they look very similar to what I had before. And I felt like this thing was not as fast as I wanted it to be. So I'm going to be very disappointed if we can't get a little extra speed out of this from all that effort to switch the prop blades. Which sounds ridiculous because, you know, it's good that they're trying to make it right, but it's still annoying. Okay, so you have to line it up so that it sits back on the nut. There's just nowhere to grab onto here. Man, what am I doing wrong? See how it's keyed, guys? It's keyed. So I have this vertical, mostly vertical. I'll try it this way again. And it's just, oh, there we go. Okay, so I got it that way. Then obviously you got to do washer, then nut, and then of course the final assembly. So I guess my concern is and has been from the beginning, I don't want to go out and fly this thing and then find out that they sent the same prop that I already had on it by accident, because maybe they thought they were just replacing the prop. But really my real concern is if this is the end game and we already had the end game, that means it is what it is. So that'd be a big bummer. Anyway, hopefully the flight went super good. We're gonna obviously put this at the end of the video because people that are watching replacements of prop are gonna be the real serious people or the people that need some help. But hopefully it worked really good and you guys will enjoy it at the beginning. Come back for more. We've got tons of it.